Welcome back to Headed North. My name's Creed. Welcome to the first ever episode of Dorm Room Tutorials and Reviews. Today I've got all these arrows and I've got this Arizona Easy Fletch Fletching Jig. I'm going to be reviewing this and showing you how to use it to fletch up all your arrows. So let's get right to it. Alright everybody, welcome to my epic dorm room table, archery shop, desk, whatever you want to call it. So this is the Arizona Easy Fletch Mini Max left helical. And I made a video about helicals and everything you'll want to know about that, and it'll be up here in one of these two corners. There are a bunch of different kinds of the Arizona Easy Fletch fletching jigs. They have larger ones, they have smaller ones such as the Mini Maxes. They come in both right and left helicals. They come in offsets, I believe. So there's a lot of different options, which I really like about the Easy Fletch jigs. Another great thing I love about these jigs is that they fletch arrows 3 times as fast as a traditional Bitzenberger. Now, a Bitzenberger is tried and true, they work very well, and they are definitely loved in the industry. However, this tool has become one of my favorites just because I found the Bitzenberger to be a little bit hard to learn and get good at, whereas this is very easy if you're a beginner, which I am also a beginner, so just keep that in mind. So this fletching jig that I have is the True Left Helical Mini Max, and this one comes in at about $65 US, which is less expensive than a traditional Bitzenberger. Traditional Bitzenbergers usually run from about $100 to $120 depending on the seller. Before you just jump right in and buy one, I would definitely research what types of fletchings you're gonna use and what type of arrows you're gonna use. One of the downsides that I just learned early on, and it had nothing to do with the jig itself, but availability was kind of scarce. I had to do a lot of searching online to actually find where I could get one of these. I could not just go to Cabela's or Bass Pro or any outdoor store and just pick this up. I did go to Cabela's and check, and they did have the right helical and right offset fletching jigs, but they didn't have the left or straight, which I needed the left, so that was kind of a problem for me. After I searched online for a couple days, I just went and bought it from Arizona Easy Fletch's website, and the shipping just took a few extra days. You know, it's not Amazon, but it was just a little bit hard to find the right one that I needed. So now I've got my fletchings here. These are just the bone hang X veins. These are 2 1/4 inch. I got these a while ago, and I believe I explained in my other video, I kind of jumped the gun when I did these the first time. I used a Bitzenberger and kind of ruined a batch of arrows. These right here, I've already fletched up. As you can see, they look a little bit different than these. I don't know, I'm hoping the camera can see the difference, but these are the ones with the true left helical. Might be able to see it better right there. But instead of just a straight fletch, they've got that bend to them. And these turned out really well. I really liked the outcome here, and it was super easy to use. Just this arrow alone took maybe 5 minutes. So if you get proficient with it, you could probably do a batch of 6 in 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you guys a quick little demo of how this thing works. So first things first, you're gonna wanna push this. It's gonna open up the jig. It's gonna flare up like that. It looks pretty sick. And in here, in this center piece, you're gonna put your arrow in here, and there's a little knocking point for that knock to really get centered up on so that you make sure and get the alignment right on the arrow. But before we do anything else, I do need to go ahead and strip these fletchings off. Thanks to my special friend Levi for gifting me this knife. This is sick. All right, so as you can see now, we just have our bare shaft here, nothing else on it. So as I said before, you'll want to stick your arrow in, find that knocking point there. Then you want to take your 3 fletchings, and all you're going to do is there's little grooves in these arms, and you're going to slide them in. Make sure they're down there at the bottom. All right, so now we've got our fletchings in there. Let's break out the fletching glue. This is just Boning Fletch Fuse. And these fletchings do not need primer. Some fletchings need primer before you put the glue on. And as always, a little goes a long way. So you wanna be careful not to overuse your glue here. This can be kind of tricky. The first time I did it, I definitely used too much glue, but I like to go bottom to top. And what I do is I don't start at the very bottom because then I find it kind of drips in down here and makes a little bit of a mess. So I start about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch high on the fletching here, and I'll just kind of go slow, work my way up, just do a little bit at a time, kind of using the nozzle to spread the glue out. do our second Fletch here, and now the third Fletch. All right, so now we've got our glue all on the fletchings here, and this is gonna be the hardest part right here, just so I don't knock over the camera. But then you're gonna wanna release that spring by pushing on the bottom, twist, and then it's gonna close up like this. And then this cap that it comes with, you'll slide onto the top of the arrow here, and it'll just close tightly on those arms, just like that. And that's it, you know? You're just gonna wait a few minutes for that glue to bond to the shaft. So now it's been about 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take the cap off, and we're gonna open this bad boy up. You'll find that the fletching glue, sometimes if there's a little too much, it'll kind of stick to the fletchings, but just kind of be careful with it as you take these off. Just like that, go ahead and take your arrow out. Look at that. That is a true left helical right there. Another thing you'll want to do is after you take it out of the jig, a lot of people like to do this, but add just a dab of glue on the tips here and on the end there, just to really help secure the fletching to the shaft. And there you go. This arrow is basically done. I mean, I'll let this cure for another hour or two before I want to shoot it, and maybe even longer. It's very easy. I mean, I did all of that in about 5 minutes. Of course, it's cut up on camera, but it does not take long at all just for one arrow. So after using this thing for a little while, I'm gonna go ahead and give it my final ratings here. I'm gonna use this scale. It doesn't really have a name. If you guys have a clever name for this scale, please tell me in the comments, because I will take any suggestions. I'm gonna judge it based on these 5 categories. Is it durable? How easy is it to use? Is it readily available? How much it costs? And does it do what it's advertised to do? So for the first category, durability, I mean, this thing's made of plastic, but it's really not something that you're gonna take out to the woods with you. You're not gonna be throwing it around, hopefully. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Next, how easy it is to use. This thing is very easy to use. It's very intuitive. It's also very simple. There's not a lot of moving parts other than the spring. I'm gonna give this thing a 10 out of 10. Now for the third category, availability, I will say that this thing was kind of a quest to search for. It took me a little bit to kind of find what I needed, but just because it's not readily available almost anywhere, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. For the fourth category, how much does this cost? This thing, compared to other fletching jigs, is very affordable. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. For the last category, I would say that this thing does exactly what it is advertised to do. It fletches 3 times as fast. It does it very well and consistent. So I'm gonna give it another 9.5 out of 10. We gotta whip out the trusty TI-89. And after crunching the numbers, the Arizona Easy Fletch receives an 8.9 out of 10 overall. Let me know what you guys think of the Arizona Easy Fletch. If you've used it before, let me know about your experience with it in the comments, and I'd love to see it. Thanks all you goobers for watching this video. Let me know if you have any suggestions for what I should review next, and I'll see you on the next Headed North episode.